Let's see if the void echoes back today.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kaylee.
And we're best friends. I don't know how else to say that.
And welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
We decided to start a podcast about the books we were reading and little life things just because we love to laugh and have fun together.
Yeah, and we have a great time together and people around us seem to have a good time together, so we wanted to share that.
Do they, though?
You guys. No, I think we really do make that up in our head. It's okay.
I do think that is
probably
the case. Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do just want to preference that a lot of these are going to be rereads for us because we really wanted the opportunity to dive into the fan theories that we may have missed when first reading these books. I know that for me, on any of my first reads, I stay away from all fan theories.
Absolutely.
Because I hate spoilers.
I also hate spoilers, and it's really hard to avoid spoilers when you're diving into fan theories, because then it could be something at the part you're at, but it does involve something at like the end of the book or another book in the series. Thank you, Fourth Wing.
Yes, exactly.
I was spoiled too much.
So we did just want to say that some of our like podcast episodes we're going to try our best to keep on to not necessarily spoil things, but just be aware that there are going to be some spoilers up and coming.
Yes. But today you don't have to worry about that. It's just our intros and kind of what to expect with this little podcast.
Yeah. So I guess, Ashley.
Kaylee.
What books are you most likely, most excited for when starting?
I'm really looking forward to Fourth Wing because we just finished that book series. We just finished Onyx Storm, and so much to talk about in that series. There's a lot of fan theories from what I've seen. We have our own theories that...
Yep.
So many theories, and when we talk about the book, we were very excited and, screaming about it, and I just, it was so fun. So, that. I'm also really looking forward to, for some reason, The Playground, because that is, without a doubt, the worst book that we have read.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. It's bad.
I had found it off of, just, book talk. They try to influence you into reading these great books, and all of the reviews were stunning. Everybody said that it was one of the best horror books that they have ever read, and I convinced Ashley to read it, and...
It was not good.
We have thoughts about
many
it.
thoughts. And if any of you guys have read it and like it, please, I don't know why, please explain yourself.
Yes.
I think we might have read a different book.
We need explanations and we need answers.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to that, just to see the differing opinions, and also putting an opinion out there that's not positive. Because I feel like that can be hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, I think also what this podcast for us is, I am canonically a hater, so I want everybody to know that I am a hater, a big hater, but I love books. So just preference that when you guys come in.
You're the neighborhood hater.
Everybody needs one.
Yeah.
Maybe two.
And then the last book I'm looking forward to is a really, I'd say small niche book that we read. It was called In the Trees? In the Tall Trees. I got there someday. It's called In the Tall Trees, and it was short. It was one of the shortest books we've read. But I thought the narrator did a phenomenal job, and the writing was very fun, and I'm looking forward to talking about that one, because I have not heard about that one until we read it. So, I think that one deserves a bit more love.
Yes.
So, Kaylee.
And speaking of books that I think deserve more love, is one of my favorite fantasy series that have come out so far. I'm gonna say it in the first one. It's better than the very popular one that everybody loves by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm gonna stand on that fucking business. It's 5 Crowns of Oakrith.
I'm gonna pause you right there. There's 2 very popular Sarah J. Maas series.
Yeah, I think it's better than both.
Ooh.
I know that one of them is not finished, but I just think
I also
that
this.
5 Crowns of Oakrith is an extremely easy, digestible fantasy, and I think that it's one of the better fantasy starter series that people could get into. And I love the diversity, I love the representation, I love the setting. I thought the author did such a great job of making the book long enough but not too long. There was no like a dragging parts. The
I'd say it's very well
backstories
paced.
were put in but very nicely. So I will admit I think the pacing is just better for me personally.
I agree with
but
this
I
statement.
understand those were bold statements.
We're starting off strong.
Yeah, which is why I mentioned I'm canonically a hater, just so that people aren't already like, no, it's the first episode and we can't even listen to this girl talk. Absolutely not. And then another one that I have just been recommended so many times that we actually have not read.
We have not read, so that will be a first time read instead of a reread.
Is going to be the Poppy War trilogy. And I've been recommended the book by so many people, and then, you know, of course, everybody's been talking about it on Book Talk as well, and Reddit.
People are just saying it's phenomenal.
I think it's going to have a lot of social economic relevance to certain things that are happening depending on where you're living. Also going to try not to get too political on the podcast, but I am very excited to kind of delve into things like that.
I agree, and I feel like that, I know we haven't read it, but I do feel like that book will be a very easy, digestible way to talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And then another book that I am extremely looking forward to that I hopefully will feed my little like dark princess soul of mine is called The Empire of a Vampire.
It rhymes so much.
It does.
It rhymes.
It is still coming out. I was recommended by a friend, and they had nothing but great things to say about it. And also, I'm hoping for a little bit of vampires and blood, and I'm very excited for that.
That's going to be fun. Yeah, that one also we have not read, so.
Yes. So very excited about that. But there is one very special book that I think we should mention because we're both extremely excited for this reread.
Yes, we are waiting a little bit longer because we did kind of just finish it. And we need to wait a year. We can't just, it's such a good book. A Little Life is my favorite book. It was so good. We read it last year. Wow. It was such a good read. I want to recommend it to everybody, but I know not everybody can read that one.
Yeah, A Little Life was something that I was recommended to by one of my friends, and I was like, hey, I really think that we should read it. It'd be like a nice little like book to break up things. We were in
the middle. Well, no, we just finished Throne of Glass. And then we jumped into A Little Life. We went from ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, A Little Life, like just some like 15 fantasy books back to back to back to A Little Life, which is technically a slice of life.
It is. I would consider that book as a slice of life book. Yeah. But it is just a lot of trigger warnings, so when we do talk about it, we will have hopefully mentioned a lot of those things so that if it does get too intense, we understand that it is a very intense read and can get very serious and very dark.
Yes.
But
I was sobbing at it multiple times, so.
Yeah.
It's very heavy, but it's very close to my heart. And I think of all of those characters almost daily, so.
Yeah. It's definitely a book that has really stuck with both of us.
Yes, for sure.
In so many different ways, and I think that's why we wanted to.
And it has to be there. It does. But yes, definitely tons of trigger warnings for that book. Like, and it's graphic, but we could talk about more of that. Wow, more of that when we get to that book, because then we can kind of get more into detail and not just in the first episode. Like, hey.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, I
guess
how are you? Now at this point, I'm good. Ashley, what's your favorite color?
For a long time, my favorite color was teal. Like, it was just, I'd say more greenish teal, but a teal. But recently I've really, really, really been loving forest green. Like,
I
it's
love that.
really just kind of there. I'm like, I really like forest green. And I always like green, but it's like, it's really like, wow. And I'll like kind of go out of my way to choose a forest green at this point.
I love it.
What's your favorite color, Kaylee?
Well, actually, my favorite color is purple. I know that's crazy because
Blasphemy.
I wear a lot of black, but I think it is.
Wow.
I know.
Have you never worn purple?
Crazy.
Wow.
So, that's a big thing. And then I just wanted to do that to break it up. It seemed like we got really serious.
It
there
really
for
did.
A second,
it seemed very
and I
serious.
was like, oh.
We are not very serious people.
But now, swooping back into all of the seriousness.
Well, I was going to ask you another question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
If you could have a not, like, standard pet, like, what animal would you want?
It's so funny that you asked me this because I've actually thought about this a lot.
That's why I asked it.
If I could have I have a list. I have a list. I think one of like the more common ones that you actually can get that is like now domesticated in certain states and is legal is a raccoon.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Raccoon and possums.
Yeah, I don't know about a possum, but I would really like a little raccoon.
I like little hands.
Yeah, I was like, I love the way they do that. I think
it's
that's so
cute. Little trash pan.
Something that I think is like, well, first of all, it is illegal to own them as a pet, so I'm not gonna go out and get one.
Oh, I know exactly what it's gonna be.
An otter.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say crow.
Well, I do want a crow. I would love an otter, and I really want a crow, and I think
you can have an otter in some states.
I don't know.
I've seen people have otters on TikTok.
But are they rescuers? Like people that like work with organizations and do like rehabs, or are they like personal?
I think they were personal.
Because I don't know about that one.
Honestly. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
I was like, I don't know. That sounds crazy.
We'll see. Now I'll have to do research when we're done.
Yeah.
Otters are so cute.
So cute. I would really like an otter or a crow. Honestly, I would really like an otter or a crow more than I would like a raccoon. But I just know that a raccoon is more tangible, I guess.
Yeah.
More realistic to get
I agree
of all of the exotic animals.
Yeah.
And maybe an elephant.
That'd be so fun.
Just casually though.
Yeah.
Like a casual elephant that just,
He just kind of hangs out.
Yeah, but also takes me everywhere, because why would I need a car if I have an elephant at that point? So
everybody would stop for you.
For sure.
You wouldn't have to deal with traffic.
I would love it.
That'd be great.
So, things like that. What about you, Ashley?
I also have a list. We are big animal people in general.
Mm-hmm.
You have a cat and a dog.
Yes, I have so many.
Yes.
So many.
Yes, I have 2 dogs, technically. One of them is my fiance's, but 2 dogs. And then I have a horse. And animals have always been very close to my heart, so I've thought about this ever since I was little. I've always wanted a fox, which I now know are kind of getting domesticated. Along those lines, a coyote.
Oh, okay.
Which I have seen domesticated coyotes now.
They are pretty cool.
They're
like, not gonna
cool.
lie. Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. And a little more exotic from those 2, because those are kind of getting, domesticated and stuff. A sloth.
Interesting.
I really do. I really love sloths. I think they're so cute. They just hang out.
They really do. They
really
just hang out.
Hug on you.
That's true. They hug you.
Me. They'll just hold on to me. Yeah, it's fine. I like that.
Yeah, I do. I kind of like the idea that they just hug you all the time.
Yeah, and I would say a koala, but those are actually vicious. I did a book report. Like a report on them in like 4th grade, and they were my favorite animal for a long time, and I still love them. They're vicious, and I sadly don't want to deal with a koala biting me, which I know any animal could, but
yeah,
those are notorious for being vicious animals, which no one thinks, because they're just cute little cuddly fluff balls.
Because they're friend-shaped, so why not friend?
Exactly.
They're friend-shaped, so why not friend?
I want all animals.
Yeah, I don't know, that was so fun. If you could travel anywhere out of the country right now, Where would you go?
Norway.
Norway. Okay, very interesting.
I went there with my parents and then step siblings. And just one of them. I went with my stepbrother, and it was so fun. I just remember from the instant, because we got there, I was like, "This is gorgeous," and it was like summer and like 50 degrees, and I was like, "Wow, I do not like heat. I like the colder temperatures," and I was like, "This is great." We went to like a glass blowing place, and we got to see like glass being blown and like by it, and like the rivers and like the lakes and the islands in the river. It was so pretty. It was green. It was gorgeous, and I would love to go back. And I really want to see Northern Lights, what they have there.
Yeah,
I really do.
Love to go see.
Iceland is also a big one I want to go to.
I'd love to go to Iceland. Yeah.
Yeah. You? What about you?
Honestly, I really want to go. Like, if I could take myself and I was traveling alone, I'd probably go to like the Galapagos Islands or something.
How interesting!
Because I would really want to, because I have no fear of the ocean. I would love to scuba dive and see like the marine life there.
I would love to do that. I wish I could do that.
I also would really love to see the plankton that light up that make the ocean look
bioluminescent stuff.
The bioluminescent planktons like in the water, as well as the Galapagos Islands has some of the most exotic, animal species in the world, and so I'm just
yeah. No, I think that'd be really, animals. Yes. I think that would be fun. Imagine like horseback riding through like the. Oh, that'd be gorgeous.
It would be beautiful.
It would be really pretty. I agree with that answer. That was a good answer.
Yeah,
like very unique answer too.
Thank you.
Clearly I'd been thinking about it as well.
Yeah, I think about going on trips and where I want to go all the time.
And then you never go.
Yeah, well, money.
Yeah.
So pay our bills, please.
Yeah. Please, we're begging you.
I also think that, it would just be fun to travel a little bit more.
I do love traveling. I traveled a lot more as a kid.
Kind of tends what happens.
Yeah, you kind of travel as a kid, and my family always went on a family vacation, so.
Yeah.
I miss it, but I'm excited to go with new people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds fun. As an adult, I can go travel not with my family. I can go travel with friends, which sounds a lot more fun.
Yes, which sounds a lot more fun.
I'm still upset that there's this one time when it's the same trip, like Norway, we went to Finland as well, and my mom was like, we had the option of doing like dog sledding in like this ice castle thing, or on a tour, and I was like, oh my god, dog sledding, who can say they've gone dog sledding? And I was like, I want to do that, but we ended up going on the tour. I'm like, wow, it was fine. I mean, it was interesting, but I want to go to the dog sled place. They had like ice slides. I saw videos about it, and I was like, that's disappointing. I'm still sad about this fact.
That makes sense. Can't happen. Also, I mean, I guess let's just segue into what we kind of want for this channel.
Yeah, so you guys have an idea of what we're trying to do here. Our core values.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. I think one of our core values that obviously I feel like anybody who ever makes a channel always says, we would love our channel to be a safe space. But we really do.
We really do.
We feel that, and one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to even start a podcast, or that we even feel comfortable doing a podcast right now, is because us and our friendship have been able to make such a beautiful safe space for each other.
Yes. And we very much, this goes along with one of our other points, is we hold ourselves to such a high standard in the sense of we want each other to be authentic. Like, if you're having a bad day, show me that you're having a bad day. You don't need to put on a mask with me. Yeah. And we very much, when we were creating the idea for the podcast and coming up with these core values, it was very much we need to be authentic. We laugh a lot, cackling in the void. Like, we laugh all of the time. But also, like, we do have serious moments. Like, I know when we read A Little Life, that is going to be a bigger, serious portion.
Mm-hmm.
But we can keep ourselves authentic.
Yes.
Like, we can laugh at the funny things. We can be sad about the funny, not the sad about the things, and
yeah,
very important to us.
And just not only making a safe space for us, but for everybody, anybody that's part of, the Alphabet Mafia, anybody that is,
I was
doesn't.
not expecting you to say that.
Okay, then do you want to say? Please say all the say the letters. Say it in a sentence and make it sound better than that. Say it.
For the LGBTQIA plus community.
There you go.
I did it.
Yeah,
better than you.
There's a huge hesitation.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got all the letters in there.
Okay, well, you know what? I think that they know who they are. I think if anybody was like, I wonder what the Alphabet Mafia is. I don't think they're part of the mafia. That's all I have to say.
Fair point.
I don't think that they're part of the gang. So,
which is a fun gang.
It is. As well as, just like anybody that, even if like they don't look like us or, doesn't speak the same language, I want this to be a safe space for everybody.
Yes.
I know that we talk fast. So
we do. Yes, we apologize. We talk fast and loud for hours.
For hours.
For hours and hours.
But then also another huge thing for us, because we are reading books, something that we have as a core value is we will not DNF a book.
No.
I refuse. I don't
absolutely refuse. I know that if it's... I didn't want a DNF playground. I thought about it. But it was like, no, we gotta get through it. So even if it's a shitty book, even if we're not having a great time with it,
we will finish
it. We will not be DNFing a book. You will get all of the reactions of how bad that book is.
Yeah, or even if it's the... oh, well, we really hated it in the beginning and then we loved it by the end, or even if it's we really, hated it, early on and then we loved the ending, vice versa. I want to give any book an actual chance before I'm like, no, it's bad.
Yes. And you can't really do that until you finish it. And even if it's bad all the way through, I mean...
at least we finish it and we have no doubts that it was a bad book. If that makes sense.
Yes,
there is no doubts. There is no oh, well, maybe if we would have just given it a little bit longer, it would have turned out to be better.
Yeah.
But even if it's I'm so glad that we gave it a chance because I didn't know if I really wanted to keep reading after, I don't know, theoretically some random point in a book happened.
Yeah, because I remember A Little Life was slow.
It was also just because of where we were doing it, I think that really does matter.
Yes, going from fantasy to A Little Life was big whiplash.
We're going to try to space it out better, though.
Yes, for sure.
And then, honestly, I think those were all the points.
They really were.
I think those were all the points.
Other channels. We have other channels.
Yeah, if you guys want to check us out on our, personal channels, you're more than welcome to. We do very different content, but if you enjoy us and our styles and things like that, you should definitely go check out Ashley. She's going to explain what the fuck she does now, because...
and then she'll explain what the fuck she does after me. You can find me, oh my god, in Ash's Bubble. And I do primarily craft content, a lot of animal content, primarily with my 1.5-year-old horse. Just kind of him growing up and doing all of the fun things. And then I do sourdough content and just kind of everyday life stuff, I feel like. I'm just kind of whatever I'm doing. If I'm with the horse, I do the horse. If I'm doing sourdough, kind of stuff like that. And now, Kaylee, explain what the fuck you do.
Great, yeah. Hi, guys. What's up? My name is Kaylee.
Wow, I didn't think it was Kaylee.
Crazy, I know, right? I definitely came out of left field with that one.
Wow.
But...
You're not Ashley? I thought I was Kaylee.
Damn, that's crazy.
Have we been lying to ourselves this entire time?
Maybe. We could have been.
Wow.
I do feel like that's a huge possibility.
Yeah, that is true.
But you can find me on TikTok and YouTube under Kaylee Wan Kenobi.
So good.
On Instagram, you can find me as Kaylee Wan 96.
It'll be linked below.
Yes, it'll be linked below. I primarily do a lot of like fashion content, mostly leaning towards the alternative goth fashion, as well as I do a lot of like music things. So a lot of the music in my videos are going to be like hardcore alternative metal bands and things like that, because that's just my shit.
Yeah. And she does phenomenally.
So,
she's beautiful and she does great.
Thank you. As well as I do a lot of like acting content, so monologues, poems, and things like that. And hopefully, maybe there'll be a little bit more of other acting content hopefully coming out soon.
Yeah.
I've also been thinking about maybe doing some sourdough content because of that one. So.
Hi. Yes, my sourdough's name is Spinach.
Yes, very important.
Yes. We love spinach. She's currently sleeping in the fridge.
She is quite delicious.
And spinach is delicious, and now has a cousin named Kale.
Yes, whenever I wake her up and start her name will be Kale, and it will be great.
It's gonna be so good.
But then also, I guess looping back around to our actual podcast that we're doing right now.
Wow! Hi guys.
Hi!
Here.
Wow! It's crazy.
Wow!
Oh my God.
They're not out on another channel. They're here.
But that is something that eventually we will start exploring after we really get our book thing going, is just us talking about other things and being more of like a communal life channel. And then also, if you guys have any suggestions either, like, please suggest some stuff in the comments as this goes on, or even right now. So
yeah, and it's like talk about kind of like what we deal with in everyday life, and things like that. So like sourdough and how you make the sourdough, and also just like, oh, these are the things that we struggle with, that, and a lot of them, some of them are relevant to books that we read, so they will be touched on while we read books as well.
Yeah, I think sometimes my favorite books are books that are really relatable and just hit you at your core, and you're like, wow, that was kind of crazy, because I didn't know.
What do you mean? It was like,
I was like, I didn't know I was in a therapy session right now. I thought I was just reading a book for fun, but I guess here we are.
A little life.
So, I think things like that are going to be good to do and to have.
I'm excited for that. Mm-hmm. And also, again, I know we mentioned it, talking about the playground. I'm like really, really excited for that.
I love that you're so excited.
I'm so excited because it was so bad.
I love that you're so excited to reread that book again. I'm so happy for you.
I'm not looking forward to that. I forgot about that.
I'm ready for it.
I forgot we have to reread it.
Yeah, we have to. It's not like
we can't just talk about it.
No, we have to reread all of the books. Which I'm also very much looking forward to, because a lot of these books on our list are books that we loved.
Yes.
And that
I feel like the playground is honestly, for the most part, the biggest one that we kind of went, ooh.
Yeah, I think that it was, yes, I agree. I'm trying not to spoil anymore, because, I want that to be its own little fun segment.
For sure.
But, I do think that there are probably going to be other books later on down the line that
100%.
we don't like.
100%. Yes.
And I'm very much anticipating that, and so I think that will be good.
Because we are what we think very much comes out of our mouths, like we.
Yes. There is.
We have some opinions for book talk and popular book series.
Yeah, I do have opinions about it that may not be part of the social norm, which is also, I think, one of the bigger things of what I'm excited to do on this channel is to
break the social norm, and say hey, it's okay if you don't like these things. It's okay if you do like these things. Or different opinions exist.
Yeah. air a little bit of a different opinion on things like that. So
yeah.
I think that's going to be great. But I do think our next episode,
Yes.
we are going to start
Fourth Wing. Yep, we just finished that. Like I said, finished that entire series. So we're going to be rereading it and talking about, fan theories that we missed. And we're going to try really hard to keep it kind of spoiler free for the most part. Like talk about like just the stuff that's happening. So like next week we're doing chapters 1 through 5. We're going to try to keep it to those 1 and 5. And then if we do talk about a spoiler, kind of
preference.
Prefacing?
I still think it would be
Prefacing? You're right.
We preface that.
I think you're right. Why am I asking you?
You're looking at me like I'm not speaking the same language, and I'm pretty sure I'm not speaking Mandarin right now, so that's why I'm confused about why you're looking at me.
I think
like
you're
that.
correct. We're going to say, if we do touch on spoilers, we're going to try to preface it. We're going to try to say before we talk about them.
We're going to let you guys know that there are going to be spoilers. And now that Ashley's struggling so much, I think, just to let you guys know, this happens quite often. I can't
talk. It's kind of an issue.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we should loop it back around because we didn't say that one of our biggest core values were just try not to be dumb. Like, we
yes.
really do. We try not to be dumb, but as you can tell, sometimes it doesn't work out.
No. I think the majority of the time. We went through a mud pile because we didn't think it was muddy.
Well, Ashley led us through a mud pile because she didn't think it was going to be muddy.
I didn't think it was
and we
that
all
muddy.
said, Ashley, do you know which way to go? And she says, yeah, I got it. And we said, okay, lead the charge, Captain. And here we are, knee deep in a mud pile. And she's like, I didn't know it would be muddy. And I'm like, okay, well, we said that you would have to shoulder this burden if you let us down.
It wasn't muddy in the beginning. And by the time don't look at me like that. By the time we got to the point where it was muddy, we were in the mud. Like, it kind of just, I feel like all of a sudden got so muddy. The boots got so heavy.
I think we were both in a different mud pit. Because the fact that she didn't think that it was muddy when we first started is.
But did you expect it to be that muddy?
I mean, to the it point had just thunderstormed the night before. So yes, I kind of did. But
you slept through this thunderstorm.
I did, but just because I slept through this thunderstorm,
it means it doesn't exist.
Doesn't mean that it didn't exist.
No, but it does.
Okay. Whatever.
If you didn't wake up, what was it? I could have been lying to you the entire time.
You could have been.
What if there wasn't one and I just was telling you there was? You would never know because you weren't asleep.
That's true. It's like I don't have access to the internet or the news or other people.
That is true.
Because I'm a prisoner here.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding you hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we don't live close.
No.
No.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's also an important thing to touch on.
Yes, I guess that is an important thing to touch on.
We live across the country from each other.
Yeah.
We're obviously a split screen. No, we're not. I could touch her. She's right there.
Yeah, I'm just out visiting for a couple of weeks, and so we wanted this opportunity to launch our podcast in person so that we could have, more of like a group dynamic.
Figuring it out together as we go.
Because I do think that that's important. But I do hope that you guys stick around for when we are split screening.
Because it's still going to be the same thing.
Yeah, it's still going to be the same thing.
I promise you.
It's just going to be, it's going to look a little different and things like that. But I think that'll be okay.
It will. We have the same dynamic even over the phone.
Yeah.
It's quite fun.
It is. It is so much fun. And I really do enjoy that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, we hit all our points.
We did.
I'm proud of us. We only got off track a tiny, tiny bit.
We got off track so much. I think when you go through and you edit this,
I think you're
going to end up hating us. So at the beginning, I love that we preference like, oh, we don't hate each other. Like, this is crazy. And then when Ashley goes back and like we sit down and we try to edit this, she's going to be like, I hate you and I hate myself and I hate everybody involved and why the fuck did we decide to do this? Because this is crazy.
It's authentic.
It's extremely authentic. But I do think that is going to be something that we're going to find that editing is hard, but also I hope you guys like it, and for the most part we're going to try not to edit a bunch
we're going to
out.
do like little, if there's like a long pause, we cut that out. But
yeah.
Our goal is to keep it as we're recording is pretty much what you're going to be seeing. The off track, the cackling, the
all of it.
All of it, because no one's perfect, and I do try not to be dumb, but I am dumb.
Yeah. It's just kind of a thing that happens. It's hard to. It's like one of those things. Sometimes you don't know how not to be dumb, and that's why we try so hard not to be dumb. But
it's
you know,
so hard. But that's okay. We're trying, and we try together.
Yeah.
And then laugh at each other.
Yeah. So if you would like to introduce yourself to our little void, we'd love that.
We would.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. What did the void say to you?